Are you a fan of things that go bump in the night? Great, me too. As a horror fan, I like slashers, I like zombies, hell, I even like possessed dolls and clowns. But today, let's zero in on some good old-fashioned ghosts and ghouls. Let's start off slow and get ourselves in the mood. Our first course on the Tubi menu is The Changeling. Released in 1980, this hidden classic is pure enjoyment for fans of dark noir and paranormal themes. This movie follows John Russell, played by George C. Scott. Yes, that's right, the same George C. Scott that plays Ebenezer Scrooge in the beloved 1984 A Christmas Carol. In The Changeling, John witnesses his wife and daughter being killed in a horrific accident. After this, the renowned composer moves to a Gothic mansion in Seattle to try and put the pieces of his life back together. Soon, John realizes, though, that he is not alone. This realization starts off slow at first, strange sounds in the distance, a child's toy rolling down the stairs, but soon the paranormal activity becomes deafening and John becomes entangled in the mystery of what's haunting this mansion. As he starts to untangle the truth, John discovers a conspiracy that goes to the top of the local political hierarchy. The Changeling is a classic horror tale that delivers powerful acting performances and puts you in the driver's seat as the mystery behind the haunting gets revealed.
A full moon. A spooky, deserted mansion. Halloween night.
All right, dudes! And Dudesses! Let's party!
Our next tale of debauchery takes place in an isolated funeral parlor as a group of high schoolers decide to party and get a little freaky on Halloween night. Night of the Demons is a far-out tale from 1988. It follows a group of friends hanging out at Hull House, a mortuary that has been abandoned, supposedly because it is haunted by evil spirits. Soon, one of the friends performs a seance, and just like in every other horror movie you've ever watched, nothing happens and the credits roll. Nah, I'm just playing. This is where the fun really starts. Demons begin to possess the friends and all hell breaks loose. If you like haunted house movies, watching the cast get picked off one by one, demons and great practical effects, Night of the Demons might be a scary good watch for you. Personally, this is one of my earliest movie memories. All I can remember is the demon lady putting on lipstick before my mother quickly turned the TV off. It wasn't until much later that I realized that same lipstick demoness was none other than Linnea Quigley, famous for her role as Trash in the iconic Return of the Living Dead. So if you're looking for a classic rewatch, or if this title is new to you, go ahead and fire up Tubi and give this sleazy 80s classic a watch today.
What's wrong?
If someone seems like they're in trouble, they probably are.
Our next entry is a lesser-known work from the mind of Stephen King, and it was released as a made-for-TV movie, but that makes it nonetheless creepy and makes for a haunting experience. Sometimes They Come Back was released in 1991 and kinda gives off vibes similar to Stand By Me and The Outsiders, but the greasers in this film are of the paranormal variety. This concept to me is very intriguing. When Jim was 9, he moved away from his hometown after witnessing his brother being killed by a gang of greasers back in 1963 on a train trestle. That night, 3 of the 4 greasers were killed as a train hit their car. The car is one of the most iconic parts of this movie, and when you think about it, it's a very common theme throughout many of King's works. For this film, it's a 1955 Chevy 150. When Jim moves back years later and begins teaching at the local school, he begins to have nightmares, and his students begin to get picked off one by one. Watch as Jim fights back in the present while tackling his unresolved past. Can he put an end to the gang of ghosts, or will he be forced to ride an eternity with them? If you're a fan of Stephen King and haven't had a chance to watch this one, I highly recommend it.
There are ghosts around us all the time. Most of them, they can't hurt us. Most of them don't even want to hurt us. But there are exceptions.
Okay, we've looked at some 80s and 90s, now let's take a look at the early 2000s. 13 Ghosts is a remake of a 1960 William Castle film of the same name, which you can also view on Tubi. I just did this with House on Haunted Hill, going back and watching the original, then the remake. To me, this is like an added bonus that Tubi makes available to fans. The cast in this one is a who's who of the era. Tony Shalhoub, famous for his sitcom work, plays Arthur the father. Matthew Lillard, who really needs no introduction but is forever tied to the world of horror with his role in Scream, plays Dennis, basically a medium who's hard up for cash. Shannon Elizabeth, American Pie, need I say more? Deep dive, it even has Raw Digga, a rapper from the era who I thought did a damn good job in this movie, but I really never saw her act in anything else after this. So it's got a pretty neat cast of characters, but the story that is told is what makes this movie iconic. The Black Zodiac is the inversion of the regular Zodiac, consisting of 13 spirits bound to Earth. Each spirit is unique and frankly, cool as shit. Let's go over them right quick. The Firstborn Son, the Torso, the Bound Woman, the Withered Lover, the Torn Prince, the Angry Princess, the Pilgrimess, the Great Child and the Dire Mother, the Hammer, the Jackal, the Juggernaut, and the Broken Heart represents the 13th ghost, merely needed as a sacrifice. Everyone has a favorite. The Hammer and the Juggernaut always resonated with me, but drop me a comment. Which ghost is your favorite? Even besides the cool plot and crazy-ass ghosts running wild, this is just a great movie that focuses on trauma and the power of family. This, juxtaposed with the crazy paranormal activity, makes this a beloved classic.
We're all trapped here. I want to show you something.
Our last entry takes horror to the high seas. Ghost Ship is a supernatural horror film released in 2002. Another decent cast in this one as well includes such actors as Juliana Margulies and Carl Urban. Ghost Ship should of course be on the radar of horror fans if for nothing else than the opener. It's right up there with Dawn of the Dead and 28 Weeks Later. Seriously. I don't want to give it away, but it is very gruesome and wholly awesome, setting up the tension and scares for the rest of this film. After this, we learn about a salvage vessel trying to reach the MS Antonia Graza, the ghost ship. Here it is discovered that crates of gold are aboard. As the crew try to move these to the salvage vessel, it begins to leak gas and explodes, killing a crew member. From here on, it's all about ghostly hijinks and gruesome death scenes. Ultimately learning the lore behind a demon who seeks for people close to death to sin so he can drag their souls to hell. So listen, this isn't highbrow horror, this isn't The Shining or Hereditary, and it's not trying to be. With that being said, it's a great horror movie from the early 2000s. It's campy, it's fun, and it's free on Tubi. Okay, horror friends, that's this week's episode, a look at 5 paranormal oddities found on Tubi. I hope this video gave you some good recommendations you can check out today. The world of horror has a little bit of everything, and I have fun exploring the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. Until next time, this is Planet Phobia signing off, wishing you good luck on your horror journey. Check.